every person in the world can have a personal assistant.
Sure.
I think that's amazing. Do you want the AI to be a little bit more creative or to be more strict?
Why AskCory?
So this is almost a secret, but we are friends. Nobody's listening, so I can tell you. You know or you don't know. That's very expensive. It's not on our.
A lot of them are beginners with AI, and we understand they are too lazy.
So I'm not a student anymore, letting the AI think a little bit about the messages.
Sure.
We don't want to build a product that is like giving an answer and then always apologizing, or a lot of times apologizing. That for the user is like confusing. AI should not replace you, but I never did something and I'm asking the AI help.
Hi guys, my name is Anton Voroniuk and I'm happy to have you in our GenAI Revolution podcast. Our today's guest is Vítor Soares, and Vítor is the founder of AskCory. Hi Vítor.
Hi Anton, it's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you in our studio. The question that I've asked you before we started recording, AskCory. Why AskCory?
At the beginning, as a prototype, it was Catapult, just because we needed a name for the project. And then we went on the market when things started to get serious and we really want to launch the product. And we found out that there is already at least one marketing agency in Europe called Catapult. So we wanted to find a name that was short, easy to pronounce, more oriented for English-speaking markets. And Cory was one of the names also because it goes for, feminine or masculine type of name. And then Cory alone was not enough. And so AskCory, because it's actually what the users can do. Ask Cory, the marketing assistant, questions about marketing strategy, execution, etc., as we probably will talk about.
Guys, it's the right time to write in chat or write in comments what the last question you asked to AI, maybe about marketing strategy or not. Don't forget to put your likes, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And the main questions we will start: how AI is transforming our marketing life and our marketing strategies.
Yeah, it's completely changing everything, and marketing as well. I would start that way. I would say even if you use generic AI tools, which are still great for a lot of stuff, like the most well-known ChatGPT, Gemini, etc., Claude, you can do a lot of stuff much faster, and not only much faster, but also that blank page syndrome that sometimes we have, like what post to write, how to answer this email, or how should I structure a presentation, whatever is the topic. Yeah, when you are stuck, you can go there, and maybe you don't even like the answer that the GPT is giving you back, but it unblocks new ideas. And then also executing those ideas will be much faster. Of course, the idea, and I know that people ask this or say this, it's not to replace you. You are still better, and you will probably still be better than AI for a long period of time.
For some period.
And also depending on the tasks, right? Like to automate, the sending of emails, and this is previously to AI. Other tools can do it. Why a human should be sending emails, right? Repetitive tasks, stuff like that. Now, to do hard, okay, AI can do it, but do you really want to consume it, knowing that it's AI? So depending also on the scope or what you are doing, AI can be 100% done by AI or mixed with humans. And on marketing strategies should know better than AI what's better for that specific product, project, company, whatever, to that audience with the restrictions that you have. But if you pass all that context to an AI assistant, you will get 100, 1,000 ideas, strategies, and then it's up to the strategist that knows better to pick up which ones they want to implement or experiment or go deeper, etc. But it will be much more fast. It will be faster, and also you will get new ideas, even if you have 30 years of experience. Also because the marketing is always changing, and also because you cannot do research all the time and be reading all the time. AI can do that for you with the right prompts. Then the question will be if it's up to you to do the prompt or all the prompts, or if there are some tools that can help you with that, so you don't need to know how to do prompting, engineering, and all of that.
What is the right way to have the right tools or have the right prompts?
The right way first is to start with the right problem, because I know, and that's okay. You can go and see what are the last AI tools, and you can experiment. But you actually have to work as well during the week, so you cannot always be searching and testing new AI tools or new tools, AI or not, because you have tons of new not only AI tools but AI tools directories. I cannot count all the directories that there are out there.
Your
So
Wikipedia, but there are millions of them, yeah.
yeah, and not all of them are good. So first it's like, okay, what's my problem?
And what is your favorite directory, by the way?
My favorite, and this is almost a secret, but we are friends, nobody's listening, so I can tell you. My favorite for now is there's an AI for that .com, I do believe, but Google it and you will find it, because we are getting very interesting traffic out of it when people look for marketing strategy, marketing efficiency, content, etc. So right now, and they are really growing a lot, like not only in terms of visitors, they already have millions of monthly visits. I don't know exactly how many millions, but millions. It's good.
We can check it on similar web a little bit
in the news space, of course, and the newsletter is also growing. And we are doing some, besides the organic part, we are also doing some experiments with paid content there, and the results so far are being great. So, but answering again your question, like, okay, what is the thing that you are really trying to solve? And that's true for find AI tools, to find other platforms, to find service providers, whatever. And then you can go, you can Google, you can
ask
ChatGPT, Perplexity, AskCory, whatever are the AI tools that you like to use. Then you can try it, but don't try 1,000 tools. Like nobody can do that. Try to narrow what is the problem that you are trying to solve, and the budget or the other constraints that you have, and go for it.
What task can AskCory solve for marketers and for the guys who need to solve marketing tasks?
Yeah. So the main one where it all starts is new marketing strategies, which at the end of the day can be then the output, a marketing plan or a marketing proposal, depending on what you are doing. And so our main ideal customer profile, and AskCory is from 2024 this year, so we are still discovering a lot of stuff, and we have different people using the platform.
Sure.
But from the data that we have, we think that marketing freelancers and agencies are our ideal customer profile, and I'm already telling two actually.
Okay.
But pretty close. And so for these cases, when they need do a new presentation for a client or a new pitch for a potential client, they can go on AskCory. They can insert, basically AskCory will not require you to do a prompt. AskCory will make you questions. So then we can generate a better prompt with the right output. So for instance, you can just go and put the URL of your business client, whatever, or landing page. And then AskCory will start to see, and then you can edit, of course, like what is the target audience,
you still can give bad answers and make the prompt bad, yep.
Depending on the way that you answer. So AskCory will come up with suggestions about audience, unique selling proposition, key features or services, etc., and other points, but you can always edit. And then you can also ask for, depending on if you are a junior professional or a more experienced one, or depending on the status of the project, if you want creative strategies, and those ones can go to the moon, or if you want more conservative ones, or a blend, a mix of most of the users and myself. I go with the blended ones normally, and then if I need to go up or down, I update the project. And so then you start getting marketing strategies based on benchmarks and based also on the Bullseye framework. So the Bullseye framework is one framework that me and the team was already using for other products in the past, also helping other entrepreneurs going to market, getting traction, first users, etc. And so we
some framework of go-to-market strategy. Yep.
Yeah. It was basically one of the co-founders of DuckDuckGo, the privacy browser, that framed that framework, that name, and wrote a book. Basically, it says that you have 19 different channels to acquire customers, and then you can say it's 15 or it's 50. That's not exactly the point. The point is, imagine all the types of strategies that you can have, ideas that you can come up with to try to acquire that customer for that value proposition, and with your constraints like timeline, budget, etc. And And so after that, for startups, and the framework at the beginning is for early stage startups, you will try 3 different channels at the same time, the ones that you believe and that you can execute at more or less at the same time, and then compare with the KPIs and go with one that is giving you the results that you want, or do the process again and try 3 new channels.
Again.
For marketing professionals, is not like that. Not every client, at least, it's an early stage startup, but it's what is behind AskCory. So you will start getting sets of 3 strategies. Then you can ask for just one or on a specific channel that you want, because at the beginning, AskCory will, with your information, will suggest channels that you may be more experienced with or not, at least right now. But then imagine that you want, okay, but I want direct or cold messaging through LinkedIn. You can ask for that specific channel, and then AskCory will provide you the strategy. And what is the strategy is, of course, the overview, the reasoning why, considering your scope, this strategy makes sense.
But
also,
on the back, you have OpenAI or you have your own?
Right now, it's OpenAI, and the latest version. We have actually, for different features and for different stages, a set of different prompts. Like, for instance, that's another feature, but like when you ask for a blog post, it runs not only one prompt, like a set of different prompts to make sure the quality of the blog post is according to SEO standards and etc., and your scope as well, etc. So it's OpenAI, but we don't have it right now, but we can also plug in other models if needed. Okay, like if Claude is getting better on that specific point, we can, or the costs or whatever it is. The idea for the future is, okay, we are getting examples, benchmarks from OpenAI in one end, and we also do search on the web to show examples to the client. So if AskCory is saying that for your case is good to have a billboard, or for your client is good to go with billboards, it will show an example of another company, normally in that industry or in that vertical, that already did that in the past.
So it will take it from Bing search.
Yeah, for example. What we are doing, or what is on our roadmap, is like we want the data set to be even more specific and detailed. So when, for an hairdresser, for a salon, something like that, you have tons of examples. It's like you have a lot of stuff online. It's more or less the same always, let's say. Everything evolves, but traditional businesses. But imagine that you are a blockchain startup, or a new AI startup, a new space, new markets. We want to try to feed our database with more specific examples, success examples, so the results can be even more specific than they are right now.
Cool. If you talk about any startup that have on its back OpenAI, how do you feel safe having MyGPTs, having Claude agents? What's the difference for the users to create his own MyGPT personal marketing assistant, or I use AskCory?
Yeah, that's a good question. Or, going on the ChatGPT and doing a prompt with or without GPT.
Yeah, sure.
AskCory also has a GPT on Microsoft Store, but it's more limited at the end of the day. So in one end, it's still text. The interface, it will be still like that. Of course, ChatGPT will evolve. That's okay. But on AskCory, you have a specific experience that is, narrowing for you to have a marketing plan or a marketing proposal in that sense of the marketing strategies, but also in other features for blog posts, or to create social media posts, or to do banners for ads, whatever is related in that case with digital marketing assets. And we are deploying more assets. AskCory also has not only a prompting system that you don't need to think about or have the work to do the right prompting, and also giving the right inputs, because AskCory also asks you for the inputs, and output an UI that is, we try to be the best for those cases. So those are the biggest differences. In one end, you don't need to know how to do prompts, or even if you know how to, but you don't have the time, or you don't want to invest more time, AskCory does that for you. On the other end, the interface is specific for marketing professionals and for those use cases.
Hey there, it's Anton Voroniuk from GenAI Revolution. Want to supercharge your marketing with AI? Don't miss our game-changing social media AI course. It's designed to take your social media strategies to the next level. But that's not all. We've got a whole range of cutting-edge courses at Skills Booster Academy. From AI copywriting to data analysis, we've got you covered. Check out the links in the description and invest in your future today. Trust me, you will not regret.
If you talk about you are selling prompts on the right back, so what are like top five golden rules of the right prompt engineering, which you can formulate for our audience? So a lot of them are beginners with AI, and we understand they are too lazy to make a big prompt by themselves very often, and they will come to AskCory. But what are the right rules?
Yeah, there are some rules, and for sure I don't know all of them, but we have been discovering some stuff. Like in the past, we would go with the initial message would be very long with all the context, and then we discovered that splitting that big prompt in smaller pieces and like letting the AI think a little bit about the messages helps. So that's one point. Another point, and it was not with AskCory, it was
So it
with
works
another...
like point one answer, point two answer, combine these answers. It's like this, yep.
Yeah. Like break it in 5 or 6 pieces instead of a long prompt.
If you want to eat an elephant, divide it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a good point. With AskCory, with another product that we have created in the past, also with OpenAI, Microsoft OpenAI, the sequence of those messages, those 6 parts, for instance, also matters a lot. Of course, you should have some logic, but
can you give an example?
It was a different product, but imagine. So it was a product called GrantsFinder.eu that was about matchmaking the description of a project or a startup or whatever with European funding, and we were passing the context of the startup and then the context of the funding opportunities. It was something like that. I'm not totally sure if this was the sequence, but then we just changed it, and the results improved like a lot from night to day. So the sequence of the prompts, and if you were to read the initial one, I would say that it would be logical for you, but it was not being logical for the AI. So we change it. Then another thing that I think that is more common sense now for people that are using ChatGPT and so on is like instructing the AI who is the AI, or how should you perform, or you should act like a lawyer, Maxi, or
AskCory,
AskCory, something like that. That's very important also in the beginning, so it starts acting like that. And sometimes we do, but this doesn't work every time as we want. But sometimes by the end of the prompts, when we see that it's giving some results or some type of answers that we don't like, or like, for instance, apologize. We don't want to build a product that is like giving an answer and then always apologizing, or a lot of times apologizing. That for the user is like confusing. So you know or you don't know. And so also instruct very clearly, do not apologize, do not. So the do nots are also part of the prompting system. And another thing, then it depends on the environment that you are and the tool that you are using. I don't know if in the free version of ChatGPT, for instance, I think you don't have this, but it's the temperature. So for people that don't know, the temperature, and I hope to say this correctly, but it's basically, do you want the AI to be a little bit more creative, or to be more strict about, okay, this is the question, this is the answer. No more creativity or hallucination around that. So
hallucination is a typical problem of AI.
Yeah, it still exists, and I believe it's important to set expectations right. And for people that are not so used to work with AI tools, that hallucination can still exist. We are using external model, ChatGPT in this case, OpenAI in this case, until it gets better on the origin, on the source, or if we create in the future a language model, and that's very expensive. It's not on our short or mid-term plans for sure. It's like it is, but most of the times it won't, like right now in each 30-40 outputs can be an answer or not that Corey gives. Maybe one is hallucinating, more or less, but maybe 1 out of 30 or 40. So I think it's not that bad, and people will understand, okay, didn't work, let's try again.
It's really good. Guys, write in the comments which of these prompt advices were useful for you. Don't forget to put likes and ask your questions in the comments. Vitor, the next big step, I understand that AskCory is your favorite AI tool. It's no reason that don't believe this. But if you talk about the tasks which AskCory doesn't cover for marketers, what other AI tools must have in the arsenal of marketer?
Myself, even though I also do marketing, I'm more a business sales guy. So there are some other tools that are useful that I use, but depending on the profile, can be more or less useful for marketeers. I'm thinking about one right now, which is Taplio. So Taplio is normally more for salespeople.
LinkedIn outreach.
You can connect with LinkedIn, and it's not only the outreach, but also giving you quick ideas about, depending on the list that you also have that and your profile, how should you comment that lead post. And of course, I use it. I'm not using it right now. I used it in the past. Of course, most of the times, again, I didn't take it for granted and I didn't use it directly. I tweak it, the messages, the comments. So AI should not replace you, but can help you a lot.
Definitely.
So Taplio is one that I remember. Then, to be honest, I do use AskCory for other stuff that we are not presenting to the customers, but I know because what is the model that is behind that I can also ask our GPT, because basically I'm not, of course I'm paying to the supplier, but it's on a different price. So for instance, sometimes I have a long email thread already and then I'm out of ideas of what should be the next one. I copy the thread, I put on AskCory. I have different projects on AskCory, like one is for social selling. So to help me not only with posts, but also to engage with people on comments or doing a little bit more or less what Taplio can also help, but also on the direct messages part. Again, I don't do copy paste, but it helped me a lot. It's way faster. If I was doing that alone, I could do like 20% of what I do.
Our students usually can save like 10, 15, 20 hours per week just using AI in the right way. It's totally true.
And I believe, so I'm not a student anymore, but there are some topics that, I never did something and I'm asking the AI help. I'm learning, actually. So for junior people using AI tools, some of those that we are talking about, the more generic or more specific, you can also learn in the process. It's not only...
ChatGPT voice helper is great. I have tradition to tell for my older daughters a fairy tale. It's not like typical fairy tale. It's a story about countries. We have 200 countries, and each evening I'm telling about new countries. So I just ask ChatGPT, tell me the story to make it interesting for the 9 years girl. And yesterday we had Iceland. Iceland was pretty good. Yeah, it gave me a very great description with a lot of details which can be interesting for kids. So this kind of assistant is really good.
There's another one that I remember that is more related to marketing professionals, and I used it in the past, even before we had the blog post generator feature on AskCory. That was ScaleNut. So I wanted
didn't hear about them, what they are doing.
Yeah, well, I don't know everything, but one thing that I used ScaleNut for was to create blog posts. Okay,
it will be my next question. Yeah, okay,
so AskCory, they are better. They have more features than AskCory. Okay, AskCory also can do blog posts. But from what I remember, like you come up with the keywords that you want to target. What are the clusters? You can basically on your account have different clusters of keywords.
Sure.
And for instance, for AskCory and also for the other product that I was talking about before, Grants Finder, I wanted to have like at least 5-6 pages with content with long tail keywords to be ready from day one when we launch the website, because it's long tail. If we are going to be around for more time, that can start paying off sometime after, and it's actually paying off for some keywords. And so ScaleNut based on the keywords, and then you also have to insert some more information which I don't remember very well, but basically we'll come up with long version. I don't remember, maybe 1,000, 2,000 words, and divided already, with the what's the header, what is the meta information, subheader, blah blah blah
Yeah,
blah blah, the right
there
the right
are a lot of
rules.
great SEO AI tools.
Yeah, and so that's, of course, then I had to read that and edit and all of that. It's part of the process, but it was not like one day during doing a blog post. It was I don't know, an afternoon doing 4 or 5 blog posts with all the right rules to try to rank. So yeah, ScaleNet is one, even though now we have a feature competing, but still ScaleNet is an interesting tool.
If you talk about ScaleNet, it's clear it's like SEO based and it's optimizing. But if you talk about usual tasks, you need to write a blog post. In real world, you have ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, AskCory, and maybe 1,000 other text AI.
Totally.
How you can understand that the text that you've got from ChatGPT or from AskCory, from Gemini is better without testing it. I have a lot of adopts, and even in this studio, I have guys who are told that Gemini is writing better than ChatGPT, the guys who told that Claude is great and everything other sucks. I understand that you will tell that AskCory will be better than all these guys, but for the newbie, you have a business or you are a marketer or you have a team and you need to write a blog post, how to solve the issue, what blog post is better and what system for writing blog post is better. Even put in the same prompts in 3 different systems and compare.
Yeah, the prompt part is important. That's one thing that you can do with depending, some are freemium, but like you can do on Gemini and ChatGPT, and even on a free trial account of AskCory, and not with the same prompt, because AskCory won't require a prompt, but with the same topic, let's say, you can try and see the output, and then you can go to.
But how to understand that this output is good?
In terms of SEO, it's not the same thing as the reader perspective, right?
But even on the SEO, I was doing SEO for 15 years ago, and SEO was my first specialty in digital marketing. I understand that even on SEO, some text you see, okay, it has keywords, but will it rank better? It's always a question.
Well, and also then you have Google and the other search engines changing the rules from time to time, and so maybe today it's better this one, and maybe tomorrow it's another one. I don't know. For myself, what I would try to focus is like, if I'm the reader, do I think the content is right? Do I like what I'm seeing here in terms not only of text, but also the images or the videos or whatever you put in between? I think that should be the focus in the first place. Of course, then if you want to use AI to help you to be much faster, you can then, some people might like more the type of Gemini response, others Claude or ChatGPT, etc. What we try to do on AskCory, again, compared to those ones, is you don't need to come up with the prompt, because as you were saying, like, okay, you go with on Gemini and ChatGPT with the same prompt, because if not, like, even myself, one day I'm like, oh, Gemini is giving very good answers. No, Gemini is getting better.
Yeah, Gemini even have a table which shows that they in some points better than ChatGPT. I think that just ChatGPT also has such.
And then you have the reports, and also the not only the quality but the latency and that kind of stuff. But like the day after, I start feeling, no, actually ChatGPT is giving better answers, because what happens to me a lot right now, today, probably next week will be different, is Gemini sometimes gets blocked much more often than ChatGPT. Like, I send an image to Gemini and I make a question, Gemini replies. Imagine a graph, a retention graph. I did this recently. Then I sent another retention graph from a different time frame, but it was the same type of graphic on the same conversation. And Gemini said, "Oh, I cannot see the image. I cannot." Come on, you just gave me me the answer, and I don't see this happening at least that often with ChatGPT. Comparing those two,
sure.
I'm not sure. I think they're the ones more well known for the most of the people that are probably in the audience. I don't test that much Claude, for instance, or Grok or others. Normally, I do have open ChatGPT and Gemini, but marketing related, honestly, I do use more AskCory assistant chat, basically. Yeah.
Let's talk about niches. If we talk about, we started our digital marketing way 15 years ago. It was like digital marketing agency, and digital marketing agency worked with any type of business. Right now we have digital marketing agencies focused on SaaS, on FMCG, pharmaceutical, etc. So niches and even micro niches. Pharmaceutical can be RX or OTC, etc. ChatGPT started like a universal AI tool, and we understand that the things they have inside, they have DALL-E, they will have some kind of Sora integration in future. So you are going to ChatGPT and you have all AI generated content in one place. You will get images, videos, maybe a sound a little bit later, but you will get any type of content. Of course, without any doubt, DALL-E's quality is lower than Midjourney. Sora looks wonderful, but nobody knows how it will work in ChatGPT. This all-in-one AI tool. You are doing a niche solution, so you are doing AI assistant for marketers. Do you believe that these niches will be growing really fast? So we will see the AI assistants for dentists, AI assistants for guys that are working in office, etc. So we will have different types of assistants. How fast these niches can grow? Because, for example, your audience is my audience, because a lot of our students, they are freelancers, they have small digital marketing agencies, etc. And it's the reason why I've invited you. But how fast this niche of personal AI marketing assistants can grow?
$1 million question. It sounds like, but I do believe that niches are important, and the way you go to market is important for that specific niche. So I don't know how rapidly it will grow. I hope that will be fast for obvious reasons. But I think that there will be two important things to differentiate products from the generic AI tools like ChatGPT. One thing is being super focused on a niche. So at the end of the day, the person again doesn't know how to speak with the AI. It's not only about prompting, because even that can become easier in the future. Probably will be easier. But if you don't really know what to ask something to a person, or you don't have the time, or you are on a rush, that person cannot give you a good answer, and it will be the same. It's the same with AI.
So you believe in personal AI experts for each niche, each topic?
Exactly, and removing that friction, or being super clear, super easy about what you need to insert, and it can be you, or it can be integrated with other tools. Imagine that we don't have it yet, but one thing that we want to have is like, okay, you are running Google Ads. So we link that your Google Ads account, that campaign, with AskCory, and AskCory will tell you without you asking for nothing, okay, you should remove these keywords, or add to negative keywords, or to this or that, to improve your results. And I'm giving this example, but you can link other type of campaigns, email campaigns, etc.
Sure.
So you are removing friction, the potential human error, and also work. So I think this type of specificity for a niche, it's one thing that can, protect businesses like AskCory. Another thing is data sets. So imagine that you are a pharmaceutical company and you run your own tests on your labs. Sure. ChatGPT or someone else don't have access to that. And if depending, I gave a very specific example. If it's legal to use that data in some way, or anonymized, that pharma company can put AI on top of that and have a great product, service.
I had conversation today just with one of our pharmaceutical companies. They are our client on corporate trainings and on digital marketing, social media, etc. I've asked, let's do the AI training. They told, we have our personal AI, our corporate rules, we have our own AI. We want to go to the other like big AIs to compromise our data.
There are specific industries, but also specific use. You can go for more. You can go to a factory of beverage. I don't know. They also have their own specific data that maybe they can monetize and sell even to competitors. I don't really know. But if you have data, it was good in the past. Now with the possibility to go through that data and create new products, it can be a huge differentiation. And then you will have a business or a line of business that will be different from what ChatGPT or Google or whatever can offer.
What do you think about the exact stage of AI tools? I have heard from one of friends of mine that guys, you are teaching about AI, it's bullshit. Everyone knows about ChatGPT, everyone use it. But if I just have a similar web chart on my screen, OpenAI website is number 107 in the total most popular websites. The traffic is 400 million. And we have 8 billion, close to 9 billion of the population of the world. So I understand that we are only on early adopter stage right now. What is your understanding of the AI market? The truth about any technology, about web, about mobile, right now about AI, that the most user cases they created with conservative majority, not with early adopters that are in AI right now. How do you feel where we are right now, and how fast this majority will join our AI trend? How fast they can be your clients?
I might be wrong, but that sounds like music to my ears, to be honest. Because again, if people are not going, or market professionals are not going that often, for instance, to ChatGPT or other AI tools, but AskCory can deliver a value proposition using that AI that they want, again, they don't need to know how to use prompts, to do prompts, and they can use a tool like AskCory, a wrap of ton of different prompts, just grab the benefit without really needing to go to ChatGPT. At the same time, it feels a bit crazy because since the release and the boom of ChatGPT, I don't imagine myself, working without AI tools at all. Its efficiency goes to the roof.
I've killed 10 hours per week of routine tasks by AI.
Yeah, and this is not only about being more efficient on your business.
Yeah,
it's having more time for yourself. To live a life. I believe you just live once, so that should be important. And also, not only for professional purposes, but for personal stuff. I need to, and now you also have AI planners to do this, to plan trips. I don't go on Google to plan my trips.
ChatGPT do it.
ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever, or some other AI reps that I'm now discovering as well. So yeah, that's going directly to ChatGPT or Gemini can be slow, but then you have so many other AI related tools that are not being probably in that being counted in that charts, and they will also grow. And again, for me, if people don't want to go to ChatGPT, great. We can still help with marketing strategy, and you don't even need to care or know if it's AI or not.
Can you share stories of your clients? So their life without AI, without AskCory, their life with your tool. How change the efficiency, how they grow their sales, etc. So can you give some success stories?
I have one that is on top of my mind right now because it was very recent. I was talking with that guy last week. He's not specifically a marketeer, but again, I think it's a good example. We met in a marketing event actually here in Lisbon. And the guy is doing some posts to promote his business on LinkedIn. Probably not only on LinkedIn, but I see it on LinkedIn. And it's videos. The guy go to a shop and talks about loyalty programs of big brands, etc. Informative and good quality, and he puts effort on those videos as well. And I saw, it was not Corey, it was me, but I saw that he was doing some stuff on LinkedIn that the LinkedIn algorithm, as far as I know, would reduce the reach, or the reach won't be that great. And some stuff I already knew, but other stuff I was like, and then I was talking with the guy, is this like really like this? And then I went to Corey. I created a project with his business as the scope. And then Corey provided some ideas to how to post, because then he has this personal profile and also has the company profile. And so where to post first, and what about the reshares, and what about the mentioning other people and the time of the day, and that kind of stuff. And so it was not, there's still room for improvement, but then, and I didn't ask, he was that happy that 1 week after he accepting the suggestions and doing the experiments, like the reach, it was the reach and the engagement, not only the reach, grew in 3 or 4 posts compared to the previous period, 10x. I don't know at the end of the day how many clients he will get. That's a different story. But if you are putting some effort, you don't want to have, I don't know, I don't remember the names, 0 or 100 people impressions or stuff like that. So that was a very recent example, and it's not even the core features of AskCory, but it's one thing that you can do. You can go on AskCory, you can have your scope, and then you can continue to talk about regarding that scope and objective, and making some more questions. And so it can be really an assistant for marketing and also sales, not only marketing. So that was one example. I remember another one. It was in the very beginning, and actually at the beginning when we were Catapult as a project name, we were thinking about starting early stage startups and not marketing professionals. And I was doing interviews, and a couple of people that I interviewed, besides being on a startup, there are also, one is a marketing freelancer, and another is working on a small agency. After the interview, I was showing the prototype, a very rough prototype, and she stopped me and she said, "You know what? Next Monday, I have to do a presentation to this client, and new ideas for the marketing plan of the next period of time. I will just use your prototype. Can I use your prototype?"
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's what I want to hear. So very deep, and we saw that, okay, this can be very important for startup founders, but not all of them will, because if they are early stage or first time founders, they will not understand how important this part is, the go-to-market, how to go, the experiments, etc. Setting the KPIs, because Cory not only tells you the strategy, but also what are the KPIs that you should monitor. Because, and this seems silly, what I'm just saying, but I noticed while I was doing interviews that some people forget to set the goals, the KPIs, to see if they are running an experiment or something. You know that very well, but some people forget to do that. That's crazy. So KPIs are also part of the strategies when Cory delivers it. And so we switch it from entrepreneurs basically to marketing professionals that have several projects, several clients, several prospects as well besides the projects, and so they have to do this much more often, the strategy part. And then we added some other features to become even more sticky, like the blog posts, social media posts, banners for ads, that kind of stuff.
If you talk about some plan of implementing AI in the lives of our students, freelancers, agencies, and so on, you want to be more efficient. You want to earn more money. You want to get the better traction, retention of existing clients. What this plan can be looks like of implementing of AI? What recommendations you can give?
Yeah. First, I would say if there's something free you can try, start with that. Don't go, paying for something that you didn't test yet. That's for sure. And then try to run some experiments, see how it goes. Try to track or try to know, okay, how much time I was doing processing these, or if it's more about efficiency, if it's about the results, okay, I will try this for 1 month, depending on the case, like regarding prospecting or helping with pitches, something like that, and then try to see according to the conversion, the normal conversion time that you require, if you are getting the results or not. Also try to see some reviews of the tools, of course, testimonials. Ask your other colleagues what they are doing. That also seems like a good idea. Myself, I try to keep up listening to some podcasts.
What podcasts are you listening? It's important.
Well, I will start listening yours. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Don't forget to subscribe.
But one that I listen every week is it also is regarding sometimes marketing and technology. It's the All In podcast. So for entrepreneurs / venture capitalists that are based in the USA, they also talk about politics. I also like politics. Sorry about that. But for technology and for what new startups are coming up, that's very good to stay informative in a chill way. Then, to be honest, I'm on X, so every day I don't know, maybe it's five minutes, maybe it's 30 minutes per day, depending on the cases. But I go on X, see what other entrepreneurs and also marketing people are doing. I'm very active on LinkedIn. I'm more active on LinkedIn, but I'm more producing than reading, to be honest, on LinkedIn. Sometimes I also get to know some stuff. And then I also maybe once per month I go to meetups or events or workshops, in person, more to network. But while networking, you are also learning some stuff, what others are doing. So yeah, these are the ways. I don't remember if this was your question, but these are some of the ways that I use to keep up, not only about marketing, but also technology.
Sounds really interesting. Maybe you can share some examples of using AI in your personal life. We talked about
the trips,
work, trips, etc. But if we talk about how AI changed your personal life, what good examples and cases you can share with our audience?
Yeah. So yeah, that's very personal, but nothing related with marketing. But as I just mentioned, I also like the politics part, and so if I'm texting somebody about some political situation, and sometimes I don't know all the history background. I also like history. I go quickly on one of the generic AI tools, ChatGPT, Gemini, depending on the case, and I try to get some more information very quickly to then be able to argue again or shut up if I see that I'm wrong.
Yeah, okay.
That also happens. So that's one simple case. But even sometimes related to health, of course. Trust the doctors, not the internet, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But is it more healthy to try this type of cuisine or this type of ingredient or whatever, that it will be much faster than go on Google. Then you can still go on Google, like, okay, so the AI is saying is these with these specificities, then I can go with that specific information on Google for instance, or ask the AI to give me the Google results or whatever is the search engine. But yeah, I use it for so much stuff because it's like replacing search engines at the end of the day. It won't replace completely, but instead of going, I don't really know, but like 10 times per day directly on a search engine, maybe I go twice, and then all the other questions I have, I go into the AI, and this is more related to business, but also to find benchmarks and sources. If it's marketing related, I use Cory, but for other stuff, you can get access to benchmarks and to the sources of the benchmarks much faster. And then when you need, you still go on Google, but at least you will know where to look faster.
What recommendations you can give to our audience about starting implementing AI in their marketing life? So, like the final words, top 3, top 5 recommendations that must be done.
Well, I would say, and against me a little, is like, it's not against me because I also use it, do use, like, when you open your laptop, one of the first things is to open a tab with an AI tool that is related to your work. And that can be, like a really assistant. Like nowadays, every person in the world can have a personal assistant.
Sure.
I think that's amazing. I couldn't afford it before. Have that app tab open, and when you need to exchange, some ideas or to research something, you can go there. You can still use other or interact with other humans, and you should, but at least you will be more prepared and faster. Then, depending on the specific tasks that you have to do every day or every week, try also to find how AI can help you. So is it content? Is it emails? You can do some prompting, or you can find specific tools that can help you with that, with less work, if you have the budget available as well, because normally that comes with a cost, because every product needs to be profitable. At least nowadays. In the past was a different story, actually. Other than that, also compare results. So as I said, normally I have Gemini and ChatGPT besides Cory open on my browser. There are also some other tools that now combine different models on the same interface. There is one Collab AI. It's with a Q. Okay, so you can be chatting now with ChatGPT, but on the same chat, if you don't like the answer, you can change to Claude or Gemini, and the context will not be lost. So it's pretty cool. And you can also use these not only for text, but also for image generator. So they have different models on the same interface. Tools like that can also help. If not, you can still change the tabs. It will give more 10 seconds of work. And yeah, try to keep up with the trends. Like can be following something that talks about this on one of your social media platforms, even Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. I don't know. I don't use Snapchat, but I imagine that some people there can also talk about AI, or depending on what you like to do. If you like to listen podcasts or even see podcasts, try to keep up with the trends. Maybe not every day or every week, from time to time. And also books, of course. I didn't mention books, but books can also help. I would say these are my top recommendations, probably forgetting something that can be useful, but yeah, those will be the main ones.
Vitor, thank you. Guys, we have Vítor Soares in our studio. AskCory, ask questions to AI, get the right answers. Don't forget to subscribe to our GenAI Revolution podcast. Put your comments and questions to Vítor and Vítor will answer. Yeah,
sure.
We will have the
or
promise.
Cory.
Yeah. Or Cory or Vítor will answer all these questions. See you in the next our podcast.